Hello, lovelies. Happy Soulful Saturday. How is everyone today? Come on in. Just waiting. There we go. Always, I get something in my eyes, hair. Say hello. Well, hello, Marguerite. Good to see you. Hello, Denise. Look at my lovelies all coming in. It's so fun. Mary Ann. Hello. Hello, Marco. Hi, Carla. Happy Saturday, Soulful Saturday. Hello, Pamela. And there's my girl Yvonne. Straight from Whittier, my hometown. That's where I grew up, Whittier, California, Richard Nixon's hometown, as a matter of fact. Joanne is in the house, and there's my girl Gwen. Sunny, Ohio. Well, we have some clouds kind of blocking things. Hi, Martha and Doris. Hello, Christine. Good to see you. And Liz is here. Yay. I know that's Jenny behind that Saving Dinner moniker. Michelle and Tammy. Hello, guys. You're looking for IBS stuff. I would definitely, if you don't have L-glutamine, Margot, get on it stat. Get a proactive probiotic, digestive enzymes with your meals, do L-glutamine with your smoothies, and a proactive probiotic at night when you're going to bed. The other thing that I would do is do cooked vegetables for right now until you get rid of the symptoms. Salads can sometimes be kind of hard on you. And bone broth, bone broth, bone broth. Hi, Dawn. Hi, everyone. I hope that's helpful, Margot. I hope you got that too. And anybody else who has IBS, this is, those are, or any kind of irritable bowel, that's something that can be handled. Well, it depends, on where we are. L-glutamine is an amino acid. We carry it. It's called L-glutamine in the store. And L-glutamine, you can use it like this. See how I have it right here in my little dish? So if I take my hand and put water on it, right? Watch. And I've got the L-glutamine on my finger, on my teeth, gums, on my tongue, and it knocks out a craving. Knocks out of a craving. It's scientifically proven. Hits that pleasure center in your brain, so you're done craving anything. It works. Addicts use this. But probiotics for your gut, absolutely. L-glutamine to help heal, absolutely. Digestive enzymes to help you digest your food. All of these work together. Consistency is key. Bone broth is key. This is one of the things, excuse me, and we'll talk about this a little bit today, but one of the things that we don't get results because we don't stay with it, right? When we stay with something and we're persistent, and once we've done it for like a month, 6 weeks or whatever, then we can take an assessment and say, yeah, this worked or this didn't work, or I need an adjustment or whatever. And also the other thing is anybody who has digestive issues, I would do an IgG test. You can get an IgG test on Amazon. You can find them on Groupon, and they're basically all the same. Different companies or whatever, but it's a blood spot, and you do a little prick on the side of your finger. If you do it on the side of your finger, there's less nerves, right? So put blood on a card, you send it off to a lab, and like I said, get something inexpensive because they're all basically the same darn test, and probably the same labs are the ones evaluating it. And they put it through to find out where your, irritability is, so to speak, and what sensitivities you have. It's not full-on food allergies that require EpiPens, but it's where your sensitivities are. Because some people, I had somebody yesterday on Friday who said that they had a sensitivity toward eggs. It made their stomachs hurt. Well, that's a food sensitivity. So those kind of foods, she knew that, but most of us walk around perpetually not knowing. This is why we keep food journals. This is why we do the things that we do to help heal our guts. All of these things add up and they make a huge difference. But also knowing is super helpful, because if you have, and I will say too, Diane, if you have irritable bowel, I would do a 30-day test, no gluten, no dairy. Absolutely none, just to see how you react. It'll give you time to heal, and it will tell you, you know, this is what's going on. Listen, I've done this work with for 25 years plus with people who've had digestive issues, and usually what we find out is if they are willing to commit to taking it out for 30 days, we can start to pinpoint what it is by adding things back in slowly and keeping a food journal. It's interesting. But in the meantime, digestive enzymes super help out, because if you're not digesting your food, you're not getting your nutrition. And two, the other thing is, if you are not giving your gut the probiotics that it needs, it can't fight off all that stuff that's going on down there. Three, the L-glutamine is going to help your gut heal. It shuts up those little tiny junctures that spread apart. It helps to heal that up. I always think of it as just being a soothing balm. You know, I need soothing balms in my life. I bet you guys do too. Happy Soulful Saturday, everyone, by the way. And thank you for joining me. Thanks for being here. And thanks for showing up and all of that. I have some on my site. Actually, Diane, I've got two types of digestive enzymes. We have digeszymes and we also have glucozyme. If you have blood sugar issues as well, get the glucozyme for sure. Otherwise, just get regular digeszymes and follow the protocol on the label. And also you can write into me at support@savingdinner.com if you need a little bit more help with that. But there's a way to do it. And you start with one digestive enzyme and a glass of water 15 minutes before you eat. And then if that doesn't seem to do anything, add another one next meal and see how many that you can have. But digestive enzymes are a game changer, especially like when you're trying to digest, you know, a big steak or something. Hi, Emily, good to see you. And Martha, good to see you. Okay, so we have a new quote of the week. Yay! Who's excited about a new quote of the week? I am. And you know, I had to do this one. It's Maya Angelou, especially considering what we've got going on right now. The quote of the week is, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. And you know what got me on this whole quote was the last part. Do not be reduced by them. Margot, yes, we have proactive probiotic. We have the best probiotic. I think we have the best probiotic on the planet, to be honest. Take it at night, especially with irritable bowel. Take it at night before you go to bed, okay? That's what I do every single night. You know, this is live enzyme. You know, we're talking billions right there. And some people, it'll upset your stomach. It's active. But same here for me. I'm very sensitive. But guess what? I take them anyway, and I take them at night, right when I go to sleep, and I don't, you know, I don't feel the work. And I know they're doing the work. Maya Angelou, the events of this week have been troubling. And, you know, we don't need to be reduced by them, though. Let's keep that in mind. That's a good one to ponder, don't you think? It's a really good one to ponder. And I don't know if you know Maya Angelou's, it is a strong word, exactly, Pamela. I don't know if you know her story, but she was raped as a child, and then the perpetrator who raped her got off. The day after he got out of she was like 6. The day he got out of jail, he was killed. And at that point, Maya went mute. She didn't speak for 5 years. 5 years. And it was later in school that she found her voice, and she started to sing and she started to dance. And then later on, as she got older, she started, you know, poetry. And her first book was I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing. And she had a very, you know, there was a lot of sadness and really hardship as she was growing up. But she came out of it beautiful. She came out of it with such a strong voice. There's lessons galore there, lessons for us. You know, if we look at things and we can look for the lessons, you know, Mr. Rogers says, look for the helpers. We need to look for the helpers, and we also need to look for the lessons, because in everything there is a lesson for us, and there's something for us to learn. If we can just step down from our soapbox for a minute, if we could just step away from getting into, you know, spitting matches with everybody and trying to change their mind, if we can look for the lesson, we can take it in and maybe help to be the change agents that we want to be in our own lives and in the world around us. That's how I look at it anyway. You know, I'm exhausted from this week. I'm exhausted from all of it. But, you know what? Oh, there's my girl Cassie. I'm so glad to see you, Cassie. Here's to you. Here's that. By the way, hot milk mix is back in the shop. I am a happy camper. That's exactly what's in here. So let's not forget that we start the sprint on Monday. Get ready to go, girls. Let's get ready to go. I am all in. I'm in. I did a whole thing about that on Thursday, if you hadn't seen it, but it was just like, get on in. Let's do this. We have to, the things that we do have control over, we give up. You know, it was like when I got the sourdough starter and started trying to make bread and everything, I gave up control over that because I wanted to go with the flow. I wanted to be a part, and I was using all kinds of rationale and all kinds of excuses. Yes, this is a different thing. Yes, it's hard, but guess what? You have control over what goes in your mouth. You have control on how much you move your body. You have control over all of these things. And if you put the same energy into working your own program for your own self and making yourself feel better, you are more effective in the world. You know, we have to have self-care. We can't default to what everybody else is doing. We can't default to easy. That's where I am, right? I am in such conviction, you know, about this whole thing and how much I just let go of the tenets of what hold me up. And when we let our framework fall apart, we feel like we feel tetherless, you know, just drifting in space. We don't want that. That makes everything worse. So let's get back. Let's come on back. This is what the sprint does. It clears the decks. It starts us over. It's on savingdinner.com. If you're not a part of it, okay. But if you want to be a part of a great community and really want to feel better, come on in. It's free. This week, Leptofix, which is one of my favorite supplements on the planet, that is what we have as our ships free product. If you put it in your cart, along with a bunch of other stuff if you want to, guess what? I will send you, if it's $200, I'll send you a mindful mug for free, and I'll write you a sweet little note. As a matter of fact, there's a few people here I've sent notes to. I see your faces. This is the note card. And I send notes and I let you know just how much you mean to me, because you know what's important to know? It's to be appreciated and it's to be acknowledged. And I love it. You guys are so appreciative of me, which thank you. I want to appreciate you back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for constantly being there for me. And thank you for, you know, buying your supplements with us. Just keep that up, okay? I've just gone all in and I bought a bazillion supplements, so keep buying them. You like your notes? Good, Joanne. I love writing them to you, especially because you are just always on it, always on it. Friday is question and answer day. We always do Q&A. If you have a question, all you have to do is write an email into support@savingdinner.com, question for Leanne on Friday in the subject line. I will answer it right here, same time next Friday, okay? Just do that. And if you want to continue to support, keep on an ongoing basis, support Saving Dinner, love it, I'll support you right back with dinner answers. Check it out. It's only $7 a month. Pandemic pricing. Menus, recipes, shopping lists. No matter how you do how you eat, I have something for you. That's how it works every single day. I wanted to show you a cool tool, a very cool tool, and I'm working on this right now, so it's kind of a mess. I'll show you how I'm doing this. But you know what, you guys? Here's the thing you need to know. When you're trying to do a new habit and you're trying to get beyond, you know, what we have, and you want to rewrite your story, well, if you want to rewrite your story, and when we talk about rewriting your story, I'm talking about not like change your story and change your alibi or anything like that. You know that. When I'm saying change your story is like, instead of being a couch potato, you want to be athletic, you want to be this or you want to be that, and you're having a hard time getting over that hump of making the decision truly to do it, then you have to change your habits, right? We know that. That's like you're going, yeah, duh, Leanne. But sometimes we need tools. We need prompts. You know, mindful mug. The mindful mug teaches us to be mindful before the meal we're about to eat. We set that plate up just the way it's supposed to be, with our protein, with our fiber, with the fat. And green, of course. Green is where the fiber is. And we look at that and we say, yeah, that's going to totally nourish my body. But before we do it, we have a little mindful mug. And that mindful mug is our trigger, a good trigger that says, hey, it's time to be mindful in the meal. It's time to think about chewing thoroughly. It's time to enjoy this meal. It's time to not just strap on the feed bag and go. That's my issue, and I've shared that with you before. You know, this is my weakness. It's just like, oh, here it is, snarf, snarf, snarf. I'm starving. Let's eat. We don't want to do that. Don't eat standing up. Don't, all the things that take you out of being mindful. We want to be mindful, not mindless. Mindless is Groundhog's Day. And I love that analogy because Groundhog's Day shows us exactly what it is that went wrong. Until he was mindful, until he learned his lesson, until he really got into what was what and connected with his beautiful self and became all that he was supposed to become, that's when he got out of the Groundhog Day. That's how it is for us too. So one of my little tools I'm going to show you is I made a fitness habit ring. See, these are little cards. They're flashcards that I bought on Amazon. That's what they look like. Cool. And they have these little rings. And so what I did on there was I put this is my rebounder hit. So what I'll do on the rebounder is I'll jump 60 times and then I will do a 30-second hit where I go as fast as I can. It's not pretty. I will never show anybody, but I do it. I have a yoga app on my phone. I can set that for 10 minutes. Then I've got the bar app on my phone and I can set that for 10 minutes. And then I have my YouTube for arms. That's, I know exactly what that is. These are just reminders, my little triggers. And then I've got push-ups. Whoop, there they are. That's also not pretty. And of course, my lovely 4-minute workout, which I do in the morning, and I do another one in the just before I get on. I used to do it after the show. Now I've decided to do it right beforehand. It's working out so much better because I don't forget. And then, yeah, so that's my little fitness ring. Isn't that so cute? And it's a little stack to remind me, and I've got a little hook here that, well, it's not a hook, it's actually here it is. I'll put it back up there. It's actually a little, thumbtack. But the point is that is a reminder, and it has everything written down, so I can just pull the hook and see what is it that I'm going to do. So I can build up a new framework, new habits, and not forget anything. That's what I do. So isn't that cool? I knew you guys would love that. Don't forget, also you can get you can subscribe to our newsletter. Every single day you'll get something new in the email. It's cool, saving dinner. So let's talk about what our thing is for today, because we're talking about changing your story. And what does that really mean? Changing your story is changing the framework of what outlines your life, your habits. Because like I said, if you want to go from being a couch potato to being fit, you got to use something to help you out. Oh, good job, Gemma. She just got her saving dinner low carb book. You'll like it. I love the recipes in there. So you have to change your story to fit what it is that you visualize and see in your life, because it's not enough to say, I am fit, I am strong, and sit on the couch. You have to do things that line up with the vision that you have for yourself. That's not, crazy. That's just part and parcel of what it is that you have. And when you change your story, you have to look at it from, this is what I have that's desirable, and this is what I have that is necessary to have that happen. And when you do this, when you get all in like this, when you find yourself in this place, you find yourself saying, this is out of congruency and I need to change that. It's like, this is why I have the little rings. Yeah, I shouldn't have hung that back up. But these are little triggers. These are helpful so that I can keep doing this, so I can keep going on the rebounder, doing the sprints. And I do things with myself to make myself not just do them, but to keep things present and in the prefrontal cortex of my mind, so that I know I'm conscientious of what's going on. And at the end of the day, I don't go, oh shoot, I forgot. Because we have to be trained into new things. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to do this. Oh, I'm just going to flip the switch and change my life. It rarely happens like that. We can flip the switch and see something different and see a new perspective, but it's very rare that we are able to make instantaneous change. And that's why we start to change our story, and we start to change our habits, and we start to make this stuff happen. This is why we use the Take Back Your Life journals. I've got my ladies, I've done a few workshops on this and shown people how to do it. Make shorter term 90-day goals, because 90-day goals is doable, and it's, you can see that far ahead. But a year goal from now, you'll forget about it. I will. I do. I've always been really frustrated with year-long goals, and I haven't been able to make them. But for 90-day goals, on it. It's been great. So you have to look at it, because your subconscious will organize what it is that you want done for you. And one of the things that I do, and this has been one of the most biggest game changers for me, is at night when I'm starting to go off to sleep, or in the morning when I'm having my meditation. That's a two times, right? It's called a theta state. And in your theta state, that's when you're programming your subconscious. So what you're thinking about then, that's a good time for that to become a reality. I see myself, I have a visualization, I have a vision board, and I see certain things in my mind's eye of what it is that I want to have happen next in my life. Whether it's a physical goal, whether it's I told you about my lake house. I want a lake house. That's one of the things that's on our vision board that Mark and I want to do. That is, I don't know how that's going to work out, but that's a goal. All the things, and if you imagine yourself in that place, if you have that vision, if you're running the movie, if you will, of yourself, one of the things that I do is say I'm standing on my deck, and I am feeling the wind on my face, and I'm feeling the breeze coming off the lake. I'm just feeling it all and imagining it all, having all of the senses kind of provoked, if you will, and even to the place of having an emotional experience about it and just connecting with what would that be like. You've heard me say this before, is ask yourself the question, the what ifs. What if I was standing on the dock feeling the breeze against my face because this was my lake house? What if that was my life? There's nothing wrong with that, but we have to be clear about it. We have to visualize it. We have to feel it. We have to have emotion with it. We have to have a vivid picture of what does that look like. And it needs to excite you. It needs to get you worked up. Worked up means it's something that you're going to work toward. Does that make sense? Worked up means I'll work toward it. I love that. And it's something that's so doable and something that's so within your power. And you know, you can get all wrapped up in all the new agey, the law of attraction, the law of this and the law of that. Forget about it. You know, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not asking you to get uncomfortable and to go beyond what you're whatever. But understand we have the power within. It's the reticular activating system. And as we start to drop this stuff out and work ourselves toward it, we will start to bring things toward us. It happens. And if you don't believe me, you know this because you have bought cars before, right? You thought, well, I want that blue Prius. And what do you know? All of a sudden you see blue Priuses all over the road. Was it because they weren't there before? No, it's because now you've activated your reticular activating system and there they are. And I promise you, that's with everything. So as we're trying to change over habits, as we're trying to set up a new framework for our lives, we start to do this with just starting with the vision and then connecting with that vision and then going a step further and working toward it. As we work toward it, we'll work for it. You see what I'm saying with that? It's really exciting. So it starts with habits. Of course it does. Habits are brilliant. Habits give us that framework. It's the blueprint. It's the structure. It's the foundation. It's all of those things. Because without them, we can't do anything. I mean, we're lost. Every single day, if we wake up, I wake up every single day and I make coffee, and as I'm making coffee, I go into this place of emptying my dishwasher, doing a 4-minute workout, drinking a glass of water, all of these things are habits, and they're ironclad, and they happen every single day. And I love that because it's kept my house cleaned up for 20 years. I love it because it's kept me in a routine for 20 years. I love it because it has helped to create health and vibrancy in my life. That's what habits do. Habits can take you down the right road or they can take you down the wrong road. Ask anybody who's had to quit smoking how much fun that was. And as a daughter of somebody who passed from COPD, I will tell you, I watched my mother struggle. It was awful. And we have to look at it, and that's a good thing to look at because, and not that I want my mother to be the poster child for don't do this, but at the same time, when we understand that our habits have consequences, and sometimes they're deadly, one of the things that you have to look at, and you guys know this within an inch of your life, is that if you're sitting all the time, that's the new smoking. Have you heard that? It is the new smoking. We have to get off our duffs. You have tools for that. You can develop habits for that. It's just a matter of putting them all in place. They're powerful. They change your life, for sure. Good habits. The second thing is it's a daily practice. And I've said to you how many times, do not give up on yourself. You're not going to do it perfectly, but you can always do it excellently. Always. We cannot dismiss, we cannot just rationalize this all away and say, well, it's just too hard. Anything worthwhile is hard. Anything that I've ever done in my life where I've been proud of that accomplishment has been because it was hard. And let me just say, ask any woman who's ever been in labor, who's had a baby, how much fun that was. At the end, you got a really amazing gift, Daily practice. Daily practice makes it so that it can become automatic. You can go from having it in the front of your mind and retraining everything. And there's a struggle. You get brain fatigue. There's such a thing. Mental fatigue comes from that because your brain's always going to want to go default back to what it knows. That's comfortable. Doesn't like the risks. But the risks get you the rewards. The risks are the things that you have to take in order to break an old habit and create a new one. Because the new ones are what's going to create the world and the vision and the goals and everything else that you want. It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And then number 3 is that you have to analyze it and refine it, because it doesn't just, it's not an off and on switch. I wish. Your thinking can be, oh, the light bulb went on, but now the work begins. You can see the light, but not go toward it, you know? To go toward it is not to just sit there and just say, oh, a light switch went off and that's it, and then just say, there it is. You got to go toward it. You got to go toward it. That takes work. When you work toward it, you're going to get the work back. You're going to get the reward back. And the refinement part, you know, is, you know, what if this little thing doesn't work? So what if it doesn't work? Then I'm on to the next thing. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That doesn't mean that this $8 investment was just awful and I should flagellate myself and just say what an awful person I am and that I give up. No, it just means that I'm going to figure it out, because I am committed to figuring it out. I am committed to refining, to analyzing, refining, and making my program work for myself. And that's where you are. Refining, working it out, and figuring it out for how it needs to work for you. I don't have children at home anymore, so I don't have to have, so that, you know, things are different than when they were 20 years ago. I was having a conversation with my children. Do you remember this? We were texting back and forth today. It was hilarious, because what they remember and what I remember are two different things, of course. But, you know, that's what we do. We bring ourselves to, this is a place, that was an old time. I am not in that place 20 years ago where I am today at all. I'm in a completely different place. So therefore, my habits need to support this life that I lead. And we also need to surround ourselves with people who encourage us and support us, and also don't let us get away with stuff. You know, you don't want somebody who's going to beat up on you, but on the other hand, you don't want somebody who says, oh, it's okay, don't beat yourself up to death, so you don't ever get anywhere. You know, we have work to do here, right? We have work to do. And if we're not going to get up and get on with the work, we're not going to get the reward. And if you did that at work, you wouldn't get a paycheck. You'd probably get a pink slip. So we have to look at it that way. What we put in, we get out. We do. But we can't just wish for it. We need backbones, not wishbones here. We need to get in there and do the darn work. It's worth it. You're worth it. This is part of what we do. And then the last thing is community. Keep going. Don't stay comfortable. Seriously. It's comfortable when it got comfortable for me doing the sprints up and down the stairs, I decided to add some other stuff in it. So I've got the rebounder behind me. You can see the bar, right there. See that? That bar, I can hold on to it and do a bar class right after. I've got it on my phone. So I'll do my HIIT training on there, and then I'll do a bar class. My whole thing is to get fit. I want to be physically fit. Fit. No longer, just whatever. I want to be so fit. Now, I don't want to go win a bikini contest or anything crazy like that. I just want fitness. I want that to be part and parcel of my life. I want to protect my bones. I want to be strong. I want to play full out in my life. I want to have vibrancy. Fit people are vibrant. So I'm going to be one of those. And, we can all excuse ourselves and say, it's just not me. I've never been athletic. I've never been whatever. You can be fit without being athletic. Fitness is just a part of optimal health. That's what we're about. That's what we're looking for. So when I say all of that, I say to you, we start on Monday. And for all of you who've done this before, for all of you who have been a part of my sprint, come on back, girls. Let's get busy. And I want you to take this so seriously. I want you to follow it as close as you can. And I want you to get the excellent results that you deserve to get because you're going to put the work in. It's just that simple. And I believe with all my heart that when we're doing this, we're not only connecting to our community and to ourselves, but we're connecting to our soulful, beautiful self as well. Because we're saying you're worth the time, you're worth the energy, and I'm going to take care of you. Your body, I believe, inherently knows that. And when we do this, it's tender, loving care. It's what we would do with a newborn baby. It's what we would do with a child. It's what we would do with an elderly person. We take care of them, and we're tender, and we're loving. It's time for you to turn that kind of care onto yourself. You want to join me? We're doing it starting Monday. Joanne's ready. Who else is ready? Where are my pinky girls? I've got pinkies. This is a pinky moment because it's time to stop all the stuff. It's time to get focused on yourself, to take care of yourself so you can be more effective in your community, more effective with your family, and feel better about yourself. This is how we get to live wonderful, vibrant lives. I'm so blessed to be in your community. Thank you so much for being with me today. And tomorrow, I will be back at 1 p.m. And don't forget, we got to get ready for that sprint. Go to savingdinner.com/sprint, and let's do this all together. Pamela, first sprint? Yay, I'm so glad. Thank you so much. And anybody who's had a problem with the form, we fixed it. So check that out and say thank you to Jenny for that because she did it. She's amazing. Bless you all. Have a great day. Peace.